cinnamon. I'm gonna use a spoon. Man, it doesn't change all that much. It's about the same thing just about every day. I go with 3/4 of a cup of oats, a tablespoon of peanut butter, which is half a serving, 8 grams of fat, but some good fat, and then usually a sweet potato I'll eat right before I train. Now I'm kind of throwing the sweet potato in together with the breakfast just because we got to film, and Ken, I'm not gonna waste your time, make you sit here for an hour while I digest food, you know. Make little changes like throw the cinnamon on instead of the chocolate chips, cuts a little bit of sugar out. I just, look at that. That's amazing. Just burnt some oil. Cinnamon is supposed to help with sugar metabolism. Does it? I mean, probably if you eat enough, sure. A little bit can help. I just like it because I don't have to track it as calories. And makes the oats taste a little better. Something to look forward to when you wake up, you know? Now, some people don't like to use spray oils, man. Honestly, I think a little's fine. I would try to use butter, you know, just a little bit of butter on the pan, but even that dairy can mess me up a little bit since I'm lactose intolerant. The reason you're tuned into this video is on the topic of how I set up my entire diet. Now, it's not like I sat down one day and said, all right, I'm gonna eat this and I'm gonna stick with this for like 3 or 4 years, and like that was it. It was settled. I started out really, I didn't know what to eat, man. I was having, if you guys know what Ovaltine is, that was my breakfast. So like my last year of high school was when I started lifting. You know, I lift after school. So my nutrition was what I had always grown up on, which was Ovaltine in the morning, which meant like a cup or 2 of milk. And the basic, like if you don't know what Ovaltine is, like Nesquik, you know, the instant breakfast chocolate, man. I can still taste the flavor when I say it. But yeah, it was Ovaltine, so it's like the off-brand of Nesquik. And yeah, I'd have that in the morning. That would be it. I would go to school. Lunchtime came around. I thought I had to be healthy, so I'd eat like I packed like a little salad with a little bit of chicken in, maybe some nuts or whatever, and it was just like it's very minimal calorie salad. And then I don't know how, but I'd make it to the end of the day. And my big pre-workout meal before I would train would be like a granola bar or something, maybe like those Nature Valley bars. Drive to the gym. And I still remember, man, I would get, I wouldn't know why, but I would get headaches when I started lifting. Probably because I had, you know, no real nutrients in my system still to use for the workout. Make it through the workout and then, you know, get back home, have a big dinner or whatever. And that's where the nutrition started. And then from there it just progressed. You know, I started learning things, watching more videos on YouTube, whatever, adding things in and seeing what my body liked and what it didn't. And now I'm at the point where, you know, the foundation's set. I track my macros for the most part, you know, try to hit a relative range in terms of my calories. And you know, now it's fun because it's playing with different carbs, different proteins. And that's how I pick things. Like with protein, I pretty much always stuck with the eggs once I got off the Ovaltine because they're easy to cook, they're cheap, especially when starting. That, you know, that's a big thing to consider. And my body digests them real well. You know, I don't have any issues with the eggs. They don't bloat me. So that's perfect before I lift, you know, like an hour or so. And yeah, I mean, other proteins, the staples are really like, you know, ground turkey. You know, you can get it pretty lean, relatively decent price. And again, I digest it well, so I throw it in the diet. Here and there, I'll do a little bit of red meat. You know, some ground red meat. You can get like 93, 94, 6 meat, so pretty lean. You can do like a lean, like round eye steak. You know, again, pretty easy to cook, pretty cheap, especially with the steaks. If you go lean, man, they're just cheaper like that. So, you know, like just picking up those things, trying different things out, and seeing what my body likes and what it doesn't. You know, fish, pretty good. I don't like it as much, so instead of, you know, doing like a lot of people might do like tilapia or cod or some type of white fish, I'll just do chicken, man. I can just throw it in. It's real easy. I keep it on deck, so I always have, man. Usually a container of cooked chicken, and it's easy. I mean, you can throw it in some wraps, throw it in some soup, and again, my body, I feel like I digest the chicken pretty well, so I can have that for a couple meals throughout the day. Now, when it comes to the carbs, Mostly I stick to rice and sweet potato and oats, but timing is kind of important. So with the oats, I try to only do it in the morning because it's gonna be a slower digesting carb. It's lower the glycemic index, so it's not gonna, really spike my blood sugar levels too quickly, and I'm gonna get that energy throughout the first part of the day. So like if I'm having a long workout, I'm cool with it because I at least had some oats, so I know I'm gonna have some carbs to use as fuel throughout it. And then I'll throw the sweet potato on, like I said, typically right before I train, like 30 minutes. That's a little bit quicker digesting carb. So I'm gonna have a little more readily available energy source. Because to be honest, the oats are great, but it's just not enough carbs for me. I need a little bit more to have a good pump, good workout. In terms of my whole day, I'd rather get most of my carbs in like right before I train and right after. So right after I'll do the white rice because that's even faster digesting than the sweet potato. And they say sometimes post-workout it's a little bit better for you to have something that spikes your insulin levels a little bit more, so you can start that recovery process and get that glucose in the muscles and everything. So I mean, you can get as sciencey as you want with it, but like the carbs I probably pay the most attention to. Fats I just try to keep healthy. Keep the saturated fats in the meats relatively low, and then go with the unsaturated fats. So like with the peanut butter, throw that in. That's a good monounsaturated fat. Avocado is a great monounsaturated fat, and then so is olive oil. I guess that's as sciencey as I get. The rest, man, just comes down to feel. What fits in your day, what fits in your routine, and what you enjoy eating. Because if you can't stick to it, what's the point? You're just gonna hate it. You're gonna be miserable. You're gonna be like, why did I listen to that dude on the internet? I hate my life right now. You know what I mean? Because, like for me, I'm at the point where like some meals I really just eat chicken and rice, little barbecue sauce, maybe some broccoli. I'm cool with that. Like it works, because in my mind I'm just like, I just gotta get this food down, man. I need the protein. I need the clean carbs. I want to keep the fat low, so boom, like it's done, it's easy, and it's convenient for me. And that convenience and ease is more important than the flavor for me. So the flavor's like, okay, if it's edible, I'm cool. But then once in a while it's like, all right, let me make some like non-dairy tuna salad sandwich, with some eggs and everything, like make it real good, but like it just takes time, man. Then you gotta do dishes. The less dishes, the better. Point of it is, if I started with the diet I'm on now, even though I still enjoy it, I wouldn't have been able to stick to it. The reason I'm able to enjoy it is because I just took small steps of getting more strict to where my brain is like, okay, I have a protein shake. In my head, that thing tastes like eating, the batter off a spoon when you're making brownies, because it's more flavorful than the rest of my food, but it didn't start, it couldn't start like that. It just took time to progress and stuff. And there's some dudes that probably started way more strict than me from the jump, and they enjoy it. So like, I don't know, man. It's a balance, man. It is a balance. Well, I'm gonna down this. We'll get a shoulder session in.
working sets on there, did a couple warm-ups. And then once I got heavy, did more of like a push press style to get a little more power, a little more explosion on that first one. And you saw that last drop set, it was killer. So now we'll isolate the shoulders a little bit more. Gonna hit probably my favorite superset for the lateral head. And then we'll go into a little bit of anterior, posterior delt work, superset it together. But we gotta get this lateral head first. So this is a superset between the posterior and anterior delt. On that posterior, I really like that one. I started doing them. Sometimes instead behind me, you got that cable low row. So I'll do a high row. I'll grab a straight bar, and I'll, still keep my elbows up, row straight back to activate the rear delt. But in this one, I like the free weight. It's just a little more natural range of motion. And when I'm hanging there, you can kind of see it's like I'm hanging over the side of the bench, so I get that extra stretch. I let my shoulders roll forward. It's light enough weight, and as I come up, I'm sticking my chest out, pulling my elbows back, but still keeping that straight line. Just like this, except I'm bent over the bench, and it just destroys the posterior delt. And then like 15 to 20 of those, and then jump on here, just slow and controlled. I shoot for about 10 of them, coming up 2 seconds on the way down, and then once I get 10, I might knock out like a few extra, 3 or 4, just quick, partial reps. Go past failure just a little bit more. And then, yeah, man, another like 2 minutes in between each set. 4 of those. I'll be cooked, man. I'll be cooked. Wow. That's the toughest part, man. Oh my goodness. Maybe I'll have a sample in the next video, but these may or may not have my little logo on them at some point. Maybe. We'll see. But I'm not saying anything for sure. Just being extremely suggestive. That's it, man. Anyway, what's the, let me check the weight. I don't really trust the scale. Oh man, you get it?
Yes, sir.
178, I don't know about that. I feel like I'm not above 175, but maybe my scale's off at home. Maybe I've been lying to everybody. Maybe I'm like 180. The one scale I use at home is, all right, so maybe I am 180, man. Been lied to by my own scale. Still need to work on the upper chest for sure. Ain't bad, a little bit of rear delt. It's good with a pump, but without it, it gets a little flat. Biceps could come up, chest, shoulders, biceps, triceps, forearms, abs, chest, back, spinal cord, neck, earlobe. I got some points to work on, you know what I'm saying? No, ain't bad, man. All right, man, that's it. Shoot, I'm still kind of debating doing a show. I know last canceled, so this year it probably won't happen. In 2020, possibly 21. If you know, it's all about timing for me, really. Because when I commit, I gotta commit 100%, and it's like no life outside of the gym, food. I mean, it's not far from my routine now, but it really gets strict, man. You know, with not going out, saving cheat meals, or saving up cheat meals, really eating clean. Because now if I need something, you know, I'll run to the store, grab something a little more processed just to get some food in, but on prep, man, there's none of that. So maybe something next year. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope maybe my philosophy with how I set up my diet helps a little bit. That's the shoulder day. It's a decent pump. What do I know? I'm JustMerk.